The day gives way to night. The darkness overcomes the light. As we commemorate Yom HaShoah 5778, Holocaust Day. Over 70 years on, we remember this evening the victims of the greatest crime of man against man. The young, the old, the religious, the irreligious, the rich, the poor, the innocent. The 1.5 million children, starved, shot, given lethal injections, gassed and burned, and turned to ash, for no other reason than the fact that they were deemed guilty of the crime of being different, of being Jewish. Every Jew, literally or figuratively, lost family in the Holocaust. And therefore, tonight, we are all victims and we are all survivors of the Shoah. We say in the Haggadah on Pesach, Ve'ilu lo hotzianu. We would all have been slaves to Pharaoh had the Almighty not taken us out of Egypt. Had the Allies with a divine hand not stood up against Hitler, we would all have perished in the Holocaust. The sheer scale, as has already been mentioned, is simply incomprehensible. 6 million of our brothers and sisters, 3 million of Polish Jewry decimated. The mere names of the camps Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, Dachau, Treblinka, Medianik, and so many more sends a shiver down our spines. The ruthless, systematic liquidation of European Jewry defies words. The British soldiers that liberated the concentration camps simply could not comprehend the sight that befell their eyes. Reverend Hartman, Zichrono Livracha, was one of the first ministers who was in the British Army to liberate the camps. And he recalled seeing the survivors walking as walking skeletons coming towards them. Yom HaShoah is precisely about remembering. But how can we remember? It is true, the soul of the Jewish people very much was there. But as individuals, we cannot imagine the living hell our people endured. The way that we commemorate Yom HaShoah is the antidote to the Nazi final solution. Their plan was to turn us from a name into a number, to dehumanize the Jewish people. We therefore sanctify and restore the name, the individuality, the greatness in the souls of every single Jewish person who perished. The story is told of the late Satmar Rebbe, Rabbi Yoel Teitelbaum, who made a historic trip to Israel in the 1950s. And as is the custom, when a Rebbe visits Hasidim, people around recognizing the greatness of the person, they ask him for kvittel, they ask him to give them a blessing. And as he was leaving, people panicked and they went up and they said to him, Rebbe, you're leaving. Who are we going to give kvittel to? Who are we going to receive blessings from? Famously, the Satmar Rebbe, who had endured the horrors of the Holocaust, said as follows. He says, you look around this fine country and you see anyone with a number on their name. And they, people that have endured the horrors of the Holocaust and maintained their faith, each and every one of them are just as worthy as me for you to receive their blessings. The ability for us to recognize the godliness in every single person is one of the lessons for us to take away from the Holocaust. There was no discrimination between right and left, between religious and irreligious. Every Jew was persecuted simply because they were a Jew. And so each of us tonight, when we go home, we will light a candle in memory of one of the victims. And when we do so, we will reflect on the preciousness of that person who was a world of potential that was lost. But it is also a candle of hope, the candle that we light in memory of the victims that we recall tonight. Oh, please God, inspire us to perpetuate their legacy. The light that we will continue to shine bright will dispel the darkness of intolerance, the darkness of discrimination, and the darkness of anti-Semitism. Never in the 70 years since the Holocaust has there been a greater urgency for us in this country to shine the light. May we all continue to be Mekadesh Shem Shamayim, to sanctify God's name in the merit and memory of the victims of the Holocaust, so that their memory may it be one of blessing. Amen va'amen.